In this video, I want to show you a little bit about a graphic organizer called the Frayer model. So if you've never heard of the Frayer model, just an overview is that it is a graphic organizer and it's mainly used for building student vocabulary. And it goes beyond just finding the definition, but the actual application of their knowledge. And you'll see in here, this organizer, we would put the vocabulary or the concept that we want right in the middle. We have a box for a definition. We can give some facts and or characteristics about it, provide some examples of what this word looks like, as well as non-examples. Now, the reason why this goes above and beyond is a lot of times when we give students a vocabulary word, sometimes they draw on context clues to give us a definition, but oftentimes it can be just a plain old dictionary definition, which is depth of knowledge 1, maybe 0, if you think about it. There's not a whole lot of depth in that. But if they now have to go in and do a bit more research or get a bit more understanding of it to provide what are these characteristics, as well as what examples this word might show, and non-examples as well, then we're getting a little bit higher on the depth of knowledge chart. Some things that you can do with this besides just words, though, is you can also add images very easily. So if I had to give examples of something, I could insert an image as well. This is especially good for the littles. And this can also be good for the non-examples. When I'm looking for something that doesn't exemplify the vocabulary word I'm on, it might be an adjective, and it could be very difficult to really exemplify what that adjective is and what it isn't. So I just want to go through a couple examples here. First one. So if you're thinking about the science term, physical property, that's a common vocabulary term that you'll find in science when you're talking about matter, physical and chemical property. So if we want to look at just what physical property is, we can give it characteristics of matter that can be seen, felt, heard, smelled, or tasted, all those physical things. Okay, well, what are some characteristics about those things? Well, it can be measured. It's a description of an object. So when I say the color of something, okay, I'm describing the object. I can observe this information without changing the matter into something else. So for example, if I'm eating a carrot, I'm chewing the carrot up, but it is still a carrot. I can taste it. So color, texture, the state, solid, liquid, or gas. So I could be talking about water in a solid state as ice, something observable. I could be talking about it as liquid water, or as steam. Its boiling point, odor. Some non-examples of that would be the way the material behaves in a chemical reaction, because then we're getting into chemical properties. And if I can only observe this when one substance changes into a different substance, that's not a physical property because it's making that chemical change. And then another physical or non-example would be flammability. Again, that's a chemical property. So more than just the definition, but actually applying. Here is a concept of bullying. So perhaps we're seeing this in a young reader talking about bullying, and you're trying to define that as a class. Or maybe you just want to kind of, maybe you're doing something on cyberbullying or anything like that, and you want the students to kind of think critically about what bullying is. The last example that I want to give is one that I actually saw from Alice Keeler, who also saw it from Jo Boaler, a very highly regarded mathematician, especially with 21st century skills. And so as Alice saw this, she saw, well, we can make this on Google Slides or anything and give our students math problems to think critically about the problem. So they might have the problem of 3 plus 2, and they have to solve it visually. So they might have to actually do some shapes and show that, all right, we have a group of 3 plus a group of 2. Solve it another way. What's another way that I could solve this problem? How might I use this in a story problem? And then an explanation of your answer. So going deeper than just, okay, 3 plus 2, but thinking more critically about what 3 plus 2 represents and how I can use this besides just mathematical symbols. So what I've done here with this example, Google Slides, I have this basic one right here, and students can continue to make copies of this just by duplicating that slide. But one other thing that you can do, if you find a template that you want to use in your slide deck, and maybe you want to use multiple of them, but you don't want to have this one just sitting here because the student might accidentally write in it. One thing that you can do is you can edit the master slide. And these are all the layouts that come with your different themes, but you can change those as well. So let's say I want to make a Frayer model master slide. I can select all these things that I have right here, and I'm going to Control C for copy, go to Slide, Edit Master, and then I'm going to choose which one of these I would like to rename. I'm actually going to do it with this blank one right here. Go ahead and click in here and paste everything, and now all of those text boxes, those shapes, everything, it's all right in here. And I might rename it as Frayer model. So I might have, maybe I put some different graphic organizers into a slide deck and I update the master slide. If I give students a copy of this, they have these same graphic organizers in here. So when they go to, if they wanted to make a new slide, so they might go here and click New Slide. I'm sorry, that's actually giving us that one. I can click right here and I can choose my Frayer model. And it's just right there all the time. So I might have my other organizers in here, so I could do different graphic organizers. But the nice thing is that I just have to give students this slide deck, and now they can go ahead and make from here.